So one thing I'm really good at is debugging really hard problems. And these are the types of problems that if when you're debugging it, it can take a long time, can easily stretch into hours trying to track something down, right? So my technique is I use the normal techniques for the first 15 20 minutes. You might add some log statements. You might try some sort of divide and conquer, maybe commenting out some code, this type of thing. So those techniques work, a lot of the times. But then there's sometimes you run into like a really hard problem, like a really really hard one, right? And so what if you run into one of these really hard problems that those techniques didn't work for, right? And so what I do after that 15 20 minutes of the normal techniques, then I switch over to something different, okay? And what I do is I sit down and I think, okay, what behavior would explain this, what I'm seeing in terms of this bug, right? And the thing with bugs is that the reason it exists will always be logical and rational, right? And it will always make sense once you track it down, right? So with that uh, premise in mind, you can start thinking about the behavior that you're seeing, and then you can start to think, okay, well, what would explain this? And when you come up with an idea of what would explain it, then you try to look into the code where that might be, what might be causing that. So, to give an example, so I had somebody that was working on a BlackBerry application. I've never written BlackBerry code in my life. I've basically never written BlackBerry code, right? And this was a very difficult problem they had been looking at for 4 to 6 hours. They could not solve the problem, right? And so I sat down with them and I said, okay, basically describe to me the environment you're in, describe to me the behavior of the problem you're seeing, right? And once they did that, it took 20, 30 minutes for them to explain it to me because I'm not familiar with BlackBerry programming. Once they did that, I was able to say, this is probably what the bug is. Can you look here? And once I said that, they solved it within about 5 to 10 minutes, something they'd been tracking down for hours, right? And it's because of this approach of knowing where to look for the bug, especially in more complicated systems, larger applications. This is a very important technique that will stop you from, spending many hours trying to track things down.